Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Hope you smokes. Thumbs up for that. It is good to be alive, though. Oh boy, it has been fun. There's some real quick stuff I want to talk about, and then I need to talk about my phone situation, which is why my day has been such a wreck so far. And then there's other things I want to talk about. But first, it's gray and cloudy outside. It's chill. It's cold. Thumbs up for that. I went walkies with my umbrella last night, but didn't need it. I just have a little travel one. So it was good, and I slept mostly, so I'm still tired. Well, life is life, that's the way things go. But existing, and that's good, and hopefully you're all existing. It's a good to exist. I enjoy metabolizing. It is a good thing to do. And so, of course, just to front load the video, of course, if you like what you see and hear, if you could toss me a like, engage with the YouTube algorithms, that would be cool. If you have not subscribed, if you could, that would be cool. Very awesome. It would be nice. That would be a very good thing. And of course, I want to thank each and every one of my Patreon.com patrons. These beautiful and awesome people help keep me, in a home, with a roof over my head, with food in my belly, with my pets alive. Thank you so very, very much, each and every one of you. If you could become a Patreon.com patron as well as one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. Truly a very good thing. Hopefully I had my hands up close to the amount of time. It's hard for me to judge time passing. Thumbs up, yay. Still though, I have had a Verizon clamshell flip phone thing to stay online because I don't know about the whole buying new SIM cards every time thing. And there's this one flip phone, the Potato Tron got me, but I can't afford to buy a new SIM card, and I don't know what's going on with all that, so it's just with my way my brain works, that's out. So I've just got the one phone because it's just a simple clamshell thing. I've got two-factor authentication on a ton of stuff, and YouTube is always saying, hey, we're going to send you a code because something looks suspicious on your account. And so I've needed the phone. Well, I went to try and pay for it on the 17th, last day, and got locked out of my account. So I couldn't get into my account. And I couldn't change any of the information, like a new password so I could get in because you needed this account security code that I didn't have. And you could go on your phone to call them up so you could change this info, at which point you needed to give them the old account that I didn't have. And I tried to make an online payment, and that wouldn't go through, so I couldn't pay for my phone. I was trying desperately to give Verizon my money, and Verizon was saying, no, no, no. So this morning, immediately after waking up, I sit down here and start working on trying to get my phone thing to work. That was about 5:45 when I started that, and at about 7:15, my phone was finally working. Everything had finished. I had managed to get through the Twitter chat bot. It bumped me up to an actual human being. I dealt with a human being through chat for a time until they had to call me over the phone to get things all fixed up. But finally, after a lot of time, a lot of effort, having to dissolve one account to remake a new account, and so I didn't get a chance to do any of the things that I normally do to wake up. Things that you would do to wake up instead of diving face first into frustrating systems. I mean, make no mistake, the online systems, their phone systems, all of these systems of customer support are by design as frustrating as possible to get you off the phone so that you don't actually deal with them. So I had to try and fight through all that because one form would lead to another form, would lead to another page, which would lead to another phone number, but that phone number didn't work and it led to a different phone number that led to a menu system that would kick you out because you didn't have this. By design, just to keep you from bothering them. But finally, I got everything together again. I got a new Verizon wireless account that's not all messed up. I don't know how it got messed up, but it was. I've got new stuff and the phone works, and oh, thank goodness. So there's that. Yay. So I'm just, like I said, I'm way out of it. I don't deal well with people situations. I do well with electronic hardware and software. I can deal with just normal situations of software. When people are designing systems to be obtuse so you get frustrated, then yeah, that sort of interface drives me nuts. But ever since, I've been a young kid, I haven't had the systems that, everybody growing up has. I was in the Air Force at 19, 20 years old before I got my first computer, and it had a massive 4 kilobytes of RAM. So it's been a while. I've been growing up with this stuff and working with this stuff, and electronics and software I can deal with. It's the way people design things I have issues with, because I understand the non-human parts of the stuff real good. Yay! So it was joyous, but at least it's done. It's done for another month, so joy. Now, there is some things that I want to talk about. I've got them on my list here. They're back to Razor's Edge, Creative Talk, and I've been fixating on this whole Apple Rock kaiju form type thing when it rampages and destroys, because of all this. I talked about how I wanted to do sort of a story collection, which is, telling one overarching story of life in the Razor's Edge of a span of about a year. And things have been slowly forming in my head about what it would actually look like. The big overarching event for the entire collection would have to be when the Apple Rock monster goes into, kaiju form and starts rampaging through the town and just eating thousands of people. That has to be the big thing. Because nobody in living memory, even in the past 200 years, it's only been a couple thousand people maximum through a couple rampages that anybody's gotten massively injured. Well, they don't get injured, they just get eaten. But it was a shocker when it rampaged and took out half the town, because it became violently clear that if it wanted to, it could have eaten everybody. But that's the overarching event. And I'm thinking that's pretty cool leading up to it, and then you still get to talk about these other things, because of course in this one story, short, the slice of life thing, where you've got someone on the outside who comes into the Razor's Edge for all their friends, because they're going to go inside for a 3-day weekend to try and distract their friend who had their entire, external family and friends, eaten in Apple Rock at the rampage. And so that's the instigator for them even going to the Western Borough. And yeah, it was such a big thing. Even in the Western Borough, they've heard about it. Because that was a massive thing, it rampaging like that. Also, that prompted a metadata analysis from people going through the past. I've mentioned how periodically through the past, through colonization of this area, the Apple Rock area, the thing would rampage and it would periodically depopulate the town. Taking a look at the number of people who get at just a normal rampage, that the people call a normal rampage, and taking a look at how many people it at to depopulate a town, they're about the same. They didn't have 20,000 people in a town back then. It was like only 2,000 or 3,000 people in a large settlement. So when it came through and ate everybody, that's the same amount that it just does every couple years here in Apple Rock, when everyone's like, that was next to nothing. Yeah, next to nothing, but that next to nothing is pretty something, isn't it? And of course, meta-analysis of all the data. The Apple Rock being is a lot more insidious and powerful than anyone gives credit, because for a full year before its rampage, things started falling apart in town. So that the closer it got to the actual day of rampage, the more stressed certain systems were becoming. Both physical systems, like gas systems, sewage systems, electrical systems, and others, as things were just failing in town and people were getting on edge. So that when it happened that some poor sap was tortured until they bled on Apple Rock, this full year's worth of stuff culminated, so that when it stood up and started its rampage, well, first the electrical systems throughout the entire town failed. So everything electrical. If you did not have a generator, you had zero electricity. So it became pitch dark because it was 1 a.m. on a dark night. So it's pitch black and this thing starts coming down. And that's when the explosions from the ruptured gas mains start. So buildings are starting to burn, things are starting to collapse. Construction areas are becoming much more dangerous because it's dark and things weren't done right, and the entirety of the town became one gigantic killing funnel. And this thing expertly herded just mobs of hundreds or up to 1,000 people expertly into dead ends. And by the time the crowd realized it was a gigantic dead end, well, there was only one way out, and that was blocked by the Apple Rock beast. And it would generally eat every single person that got trapped, and if you survived, it was because it let you. So when it stopped at 12,000, it was because it got bored. And of course, the scientists that have been studying this thing for all this time, they have never found any sort of waste product remains. There have never been any droppings. Apparently, its digestion is so quick and efficient that there is no waste products. It really only has a few openings into its body, and it's up here. I've worked on that some. A few thousand liters of a clean, odorless gas get emitted through time. The only waste product. So thumbs up on that. But of course, the question is, you go, well, why would you even live there if this thing rampages? Well, number one, there's the thing where it's, as long as it eats someone else, I'm okay. Everybody's going to be thinking that, though, and everybody is someone else to someone else. And up until this time, it never ate that many people, so your odds of being eaten, even while it was rampaging, were small. But if you want to take a look at real life, I live in the Pacific Northwest. Right here in Washington State of the United States of America. It's right on the Ring of Fire, a big ring of volcanism, volcanoes, and such throughout the entirety of this side of the ocean. Not only that, because it's the ring, we are right on a fault line of gigantic tectonic plates, and we are overdue. When these things let go the stress, I don't know that anyone will actually survive. The earthquake is going to be so harsh. And yet, I live here. I'm in a 2-story house. I know this thing could snap at any time. We still have places where there's volcanoes. People live right up as far as they can get, right up to the base of them. We've already had a Pompeii a couple thousand years back, and how could you evacuate everyone if the volcano blew? You couldn't. You got seconds. It would be Pompeii 2, except millions more. And we do it. We still live there. Living around stuff like that, that's what human beings do. We court disaster. We're begging fate right here. So, you ask, why would people live around Apple Rock if this thing keeps rampaging? Why do I live in the Pacific Northwest? Why do people live around volcanoes? When Mount St. Helens blew, oh boy, there are a lot of people that died from that. It's what we do. Thumbs up. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and oh boy, this one is getting kind of depressing. I used to be able to thank 20 to 25 people, and I'd have to stop at 25 because I had way too many comments. I think I've got 6 this morning over the last 24 hours on all my videos, so thank you, each and every one of you that does leave a comment. I mean, it is appreciated. Any comments greater than 0 is thumbs up and wonderful. You took the time, you expended the effort. Thank you. So thumbs up on that. But we have What Bang, thank you. And Enjun Shin, I'm nowhere close, but thank you very much. Sebastian Ferris, greatly appreciated. Midnight Dominator, greatly appreciated. You're not that guy, pal. Thumbs up. And Adam Warner. Thank you, all 6 of you, for leaving me comments. It is appreciated very, very much. You got me out of my head for a second or two, which is good. Thumbs up and thank you all 6 of you. Life. And of course, I do not know what device you may be watching this on, if you are watching this, and if you are, thank you so very much. It is appreciated. But I have a video description for the video, and inside there are links to all my channels. If you could check that out, that would be cool. I have links to my Patreon, and again, if you could become a patreon.com patron to help keep me alive, that would be very awesome, very, very cool. I am struggling with not becoming homeless. I don't want to become homeless. I wouldn't survive it for very long. So if you could help, that would be very, very cool. If you would like to help without becoming a patron, I do have a PayPal link, and I am not above grubbing for any spare change you can throw me. When you got nothing, anything helps. So thumbs up and thank you. And of course, if you'd like to help me out without sending money, hopefully I've got my Amazon wish list link updated with cat food. That would be very cool and very awesome, very, very good. So hopefully I've gotten that done. Now, of course, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. I suddenly feel really nauseated. Yay. Ugh. And of course, thumbs up for nausea. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Thumbs up and appreciate it. I say the phrase thumbs up a lot, don't I? Thumbs up for that. And of course, seek creativity. You do not have to do anything with that creativity. Do it for yourself. Just be creative, stay active, and keep your mind working. And of course, seek positivity. You don't want to avoid negativity altogether, but you don't want to go to either extreme. You want to seek balance. If you're too positive with no negativity, you are crippling your emotional development. If you are too negative without any positivity, you are crippling your emotional development. Life is a balance between good and bad. So please seek that balance, moderation in all things. And of course, with the Covfefe bug still raging, I mean, nobody watches to the end and sees this part, but if you do, please do not go out amongst crowds, and if you have to, please wear a mask, maintain your social distancing, wash or sanitize your hands as often as possible, try not to touch your face. Get vaxxed if you're not, and if you can, get a booster if it's available, and you are one of those that can, so that would be cool on that. We got to get through this bloody pandemic. It would be a good thing. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is, well, in my book, a definite thumbs up.